So we're talking about negative self-talk here. Do you experience a lot of negative self-talk? Well done, by the way. That's a great answer. That's how you do it. You were this close to letting that slip, you know? It was right beneath the surface, but you went in and you caught it like a slippery fish that's trying to get off your hook. Don't let it. If it starts to get off the hook, dive in after the bastard and grab it with your bare hands if you have to. Do you engage in much conscious positive self-talk? Why not? The body doesn't have its own beliefs, do you understand? The body responds to whatever you tell it, as if that's real. But the body, are we talking about the body? The body is not yourself. The self, the so-called self, is the thing that's doing the negative talking. So what is it talking about? What is this negative self referring to when it says it's not good enough? What's not good enough? Itself is not good enough? It's a feedback loop. Or is it referring to the body and the way the body looks? Because that's a little bit different. So the body doesn't know what's real. The body doesn't know what's happening. If you sit with your eyes closed and visualize a shark attack, a shark swimming up next to you in the water and biting into your side, your body will start to tense because it thinks that is happening. The body itself, it's just doing what you tell it. It's responding to what you tell it. So whatever you've got going on in there psychologically, the body is manifesting and materializing because that's what you're telling it is happening. So if you're feeding the body with the psychology of toxicity and negativity, then of course the body becomes toxic and negative because it's just doing what you're telling it to do. It's not going to make up its own mind because it doesn't have its own mind. It only has you. You're the driver, you know. It's not going to drive itself. If you leave the body drops. It just turns into dust. Well, first of all, it turns into a bag, you know, a floppy, squishy, mushy bag on the floor because you're not in it anymore. So what that means is there is no psychology separate from you in there. If you leave, the psychology dies. It's gone. It's disappeared because you are the source of that psychology. So you can't expect the body to fix itself. If you're in there driving it off a cliff, it's going to drive off a cliff. It's just doing what you told it to do. It's not going to make up its own mind. I said that before. Okay, so we can't rely on the body to fix the problem. So the psychology then, what's the psychology referring to? It's stuck in a negative feedback loop. I don't like myself because I'm not good enough, because I can't achieve all these aims, and I don't like the way my body looks because my body looks ugly, and so the body is responding to all of that and feeling worse and worse and becoming uglier and uglier and more diseased. And so the psychology says, I'm getting sick, I don't like myself anymore because I'm getting sick, and this makes me feel worse about myself, and so it's a negative feedback loop. If you jump in there even once, just once, for 10 seconds. Michaela Lemon, hello, welcome to the chat. I haven't met you before, I don't think. Maybe I have, I'm not sure. If you jump in there even just once and start to condition that psychology to feel good, to love the body, to embrace the body, to accept the body, to send this loving, beautiful warmth. Thank you for the follow, Michaela. It's nice to have you on board. If you send this tranquility, love, acceptance, it really just boils down to love, you know. That's what this comes down to. You send this psychology of love. Take control. You're your vehicle is out of control, meaning your psychology is out of control. It's gotten out of control. You've left it alone for too long. You need to take the reins back. Start driving it into some love and happiness. But you're going to have to do that on purpose. You're going to have to do that consciously. You're going to have to step in and think consciously about beauty, not an imagined idea of beauty, but of accepting the beauty of your body, the fact that you have a body and that this body needs your love. It needs you to drive it towards love and warmth and beauty and kindness, because it can't do that by itself. If you step out of the body, it drops to the floor. If you allow your psychology to be toxic and negative because of conditioning, most of the time by your environment and your childhood, the body is just being driven towards that because that's where you're driving it. So there's nobody to blame, and you have to stop making excuses. But if you step into that conscious psychology once, immediately the benefits are felt. The effect of that love, support, warmth. Get rid of all the judgment. Get rid of all of the criticism. Get rid of all of the self-hatred because not good enough compared to that person, not achieving the goals that I once upon a time wanted when I was 18 and I'm still holding on. You put all of that down, all of that kind of toxic psychology, useless psychology, and you start again. Refresh, reset. From this moment on, I'm going to think this way inside my body. I am going to think this way instead. I'm going to look towards not other people that are beautiful. That's not what I mean when I say beauty. Not a model of beauty in a person who's got a certain kind of body, and I'm a woman and I'm looking at this woman's body and I want to be like that. That's not what we're talking about. We talk about beauty. We're looking at nature, freedom, serenity. Have you ever seen a monk, a Buddhist monk? You know, they don't look in mirrors very often. They shave their head all the time. They got dry scalp. They got hairs coming out their nose, hairs coming out their ears. They got crusty bits in their eyes. Some of the most beautiful people you've ever met in your life, because they are just full of joy and happiness and serenity, because they cultivate that all day long. But if you looked at their physical appearance and judged it based off of a model of beauty, you would say they're ugly. Physically ugly, they're fat or they're really skinny. Anyway, just an example. Turn your consciousness towards beauty, serenity. Stop chasing after all of these fantasies and social media socialites and representations of perfection, so to speak. It's all a lie. And that is not the beauty that will turn your psychology towards love. That actually will turn your psychology towards envy and jealousy. Because you're not that, and you're never going to be that. And even if you could become that for a while, it's temporary. And all of that will fall apart as your body ages. So don't go there. Stay away from all that stuff. And so if you take control of your psychology in this way, after a while, about a month, if you do it all day, every day, you won't be the same person internally. The pains will have massively decreased, if not totally gone. The health issues will have dissolved because now you're feeding love and serenity and joy and freedom and relaxation into your body instead of judgment and criticism and hatred, self-hatred.